Hi, Jessica.
Who the hell are you?
The woman who's going to save your life.
Welcome to Know Her is to Fear Her, the Spider-Woman podcast. This is episode number 46, and we're your hosts, Seren and Rey. How are you, Rey?
Good, Seren. Good. I'm so happy to be back. Although it was only one episode, did miss you. So
I'm
very happy.
sorry.
No, I understand. As I mentioned to the listeners, there were some commitments that you had to attend to, of course. But we'll make it work as much as we can. I had a little fun doing the playthrough. I did a playthrough.
How did that go?
Yeah, it was good.
Haven't listened to the episode, and I need to. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it was originally going to be Spider-Woman versus Venom, but Venom in Marvel Champions, I guess you need to know a bit of the foundational kind of rules. So I thought it might be a bit too complicated as a first run through. So I did Rhino, and that was fun. That was fun.
Did you win?
Yes, I won, which was good. And the deck I made was specifically Jess and Carol. So Carol was she was the only ally because you can fill your deck with allies, but I only had Carol in. I managed to get her out, and between the two of them, they took down Rhino, which was really fun.
Excellent, very good.
Yeah, but always happy to get back into comics, of course. And I know that you have a slew of news, Seren. So yeah, I mean, but before that, of course, we are covering a couple of issues, I must say.
Yeah. Well, I would say an issue and a quarter, maybe.
Yeah. So, the I guess the classic issue that we're going to be covering today, Spider Babies, is Spider-Woman Volume 1, Issue 5, and we also are going to discuss Amazing Spider-Man number 31. It's a big milestone issue.
Yeah, it is. It's a lot of it is set up for Gang War, which will be starting I think in November, right? And then really kicking off in December. Which Jess he's got a mini series in it, and Spider Babies. As a reminder, if we want this mini series to be an ongoing, get your pre-orders in now. Order the variants, order whatever you need to do so that we get more than 4 issues of Jess, because it sounds like Steve Fox has a lot he wants to do with her. So let's make sure that happens. You know what to do. I've already put into my comic shop that I want all the variants. They know that I want Spider-Woman stuff. So.
Oh yeah, me too.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to pick up as much as I can. A big shout out to one of our Spider Babies, Carlos. He said he's pre-ordered like 30 issues. Did you see that, Seren?
Yeah, something like that, which is wild. But more power to Carlos. I don't know what Carlos does with all those issues. But
that is great. I mean, if you can do it and you want to do it, all power to you. So a big thank you. Hopefully that will go a long way in us getting an ongoing series.
I wonder if and Carlos, I'm sorry, but I can't help it because I picture Carlos with a stack of Spider-Woman comics and just standing on a street corner and just handing them out to people.
That would be cool.
Make more fans of Spider-Woman, Have you?
Yeah.
I know Spider-Woman has a very big following in Spain. She's very, very popular over there. It's very cool. And what else are we talking about, Rey, today?
We've got just some news. We might as well. I'm just going to switch the order.
Did we say Spider-Woman Volume 1, number 5? Because I don't know if we got to that part yet. I'm already forgetting.
Oh, yes, we did.
Okay, wow. I'm apparently tired. We're having a tropical storm here on the East Coast right now, and it's doing all sorts of things. That's my excuse.
Yeah, no worries. But yeah, we'll be covering that, which is very weird and wonky issue. I can't wait to hear your thoughts, Saren. I know a little bit about. You texted me, I think, after you read it.
Yeah.
I just love how crazy it is. That's all I'm saying.
I thought it was a mind fuck, man. I think there's a lot of it that I did not comprehend. Um, but
Yeah, but
yeah,
yeah,
it was
we'll
a
get
mind
into.
fuck.
Nah, it is. It's a very cool issue, and we get a little surprise reveal at the end, which is so cool.
Yes,
And then,
that was cool. I forgot she was, or well,
oh
never
man,
mind.
yeah, we'll get to it.
We'll get
Um,
to it.
but before that, Sharon, yeah, I guess some jibber jabber, jibber
Yeah,
jabber
we've
Jeff
got
news.
some jibber jabber. So,
Yeah.
speaking of the new Spider-Woman series for Gang War, which is 4 issues as of right now, again, pre-orders
Hmm.
in. Make sure we get it goes to a direct series. I know pre-orders for the Carla Pacheco Para Pare run blew all the March 2020 pre-orders out of the water. Let's do it again, Spider-Man.
Wow. Yes.
You know what to do. Anyway, speaking of this, Spider-Woman artist Carola Borelli for this new Gang Wars miniseries
Hmm.
is going to be at New York Comic Con. If you are going to New York Comic Con, please stop by her booth in Artist Alley, table D40. Tell her you are excited about the series. Let her know you love her. You're looking forward to it. All that cool stuff. I have a feeling she'll probably be on maybe, hopefully, the Gang War panel. I mean, she's going to be,
Nice.
so why wouldn't she? She's also got commissions open, so get them now
Cool.
while you can. She is Carola Borelli on Twitter. Speaking of the Gang War panel at New York Comic Con, it is going to be on Friday, October 13th at 3:15 Eastern. Marvel sometimes live streams their panels on their YouTube page, so you want them, or on their website, one of those. They usually have like a ongoing stream, and sometimes their panels are live streamed. I don't know if this one will be, but it might be. So check it out.
Yeah, that's how I'm gonna check it out. Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, you're right. They do sometimes live stream, sometimes not. Just for my case personally, because of time zones, I'll probably be catching just the recorded, recording of the panel, and
If
when
they
it's
have
available.
it, I don't know if they
Oh, I'm
post the
hoping they are.
recorded panels. I think they do, maybe later. I don't know.
Mm,
Maybe they don't, but I know sometimes they live stream the panels, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're going to post the
do
recording anywhere.
right. Well, hopefully.
This week in Marvel podcast, you'll get that panel because they will, because that's the podcast panel and they are going to stream
Yep.
that for sure. And also the Women in Marvel panel will also, I think, be
Yes, most
at least
likely.
podcasted. Yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of the artist Carola Borelli, Sharon, we've got to maybe try and tap her on the shoulder, get on the show. We've
Oh, I
already.
already did. It's
Oh, you
okay.
have? Awesome.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
I
Awesome.
may
Because
have
we.
inquired about a commission and then I asked her, would
Nice.
you like
Oh,
to be on the podcast? And she's getting ready for New York Comic Con right now. So
yep.
obviously it won't be
No, of course.
for a little bit yet. But yes, she is
No.
interested. If we can have her on at the same time as Steve, if we could
Yeah.
coordinate that, that would be really good.
Yeah. I mean,
Which we still
for
also
those.
need to coordinate too.
Yes, I mean, but for those who haven't heard, yeah, we did reach out to Steve. He's keen to come on the show. I think we were aiming, Sarah, more towards the impending date of the release, so around November. So it's not for a while yet as well, and I'm sure he's very busy with NYCC. So I'll tap him on his shoulder
Is he going to
closer to the date.
NYCC too? Holy shit!
I think so. I think I saw some tweets and stuff. I think I'm not too sure.
They might
Anyway.
be bringing him in for the panel, but is he going to be tabling?
Oh, okay. I thought he was, but I've misread it.
I am
But
not seeing him in the Artist Alley list currently on my
okay.
New York Comic Con app.
Oh. Okay, well
But
maybe not.
that doesn't necessarily mean he's going to be there. Marvel could be bringing him in for the Gang War panel. So he might not be tabling, but he might still be on the panel.
Okay. Well, we'll definitely have him on the show more towards the release of Gang War, so Spider-Woman Gang War. So keep your eyes and ears peeled out for that. Speaking of which, as well, Saren, we also got some nice, cool artwork and news about more of the Spider-Woman mini. So
yeah,
for those that are that can see the video, that are tuning into the video, there's a nice cover there of Jess. She's
by
free falling.
Lionel Francis Yu,
Yeah.
doing the main cover for the series for issue number 1. I also know we are getting variants by Bengal. His variant is probably one of my favorite Spider-Woman covers.
Oh yes, that
I've
one.
ever seen.
There was a lot of talk in Discord about that, about just how cool it was.
Yeah, it's so good.
Yeah.
And then let's see what else. Who else is doing a cover? It was him, and I can't remember everyone right now.
Yeah,
But
there's a whole heap of others.
yep,
I'm sure, but we got a little bit of a
we've
solicit
got
synopsis.
for number 2. The synopsis. This is for Spider-Woman. Oh, this is a cover for Spider-Woman number 2, rather, not number 1. Sorry.
Yes, number 2. Yes, yeah.
Yep. So the synopsis for Spider-Woman number 2 is on the trail of the ruthless Diamondback and his mysterious backers, Jess commits a little corporate espionage, which may bury her in a dark corner of her past. I am here for corporate espionage, Jess. Plus, the shadowy new villain Green Mamba prowls for a rematch Spider-Woman may not be ready for. Now, please, guys,
Awesome.
I am behind on my comics.
Mm-hmm.
Who's Green Mamba?
I think she's new. I think I'm assuming just otherwise she must be part of might be part of the Serpent Society, which I'm assuming Diamondback is a part of. I get see
Okay. Yeah, because
I get confused because there is a female Diamondback as well as apparently this male Diamondback.
So wait, this isn't the Diamondback this isn't the female Diamondback? This is a different Diamondback?
Well, only because it says on the trail of the ruthless Diamondback and his mysterious backers. So
Oh.
yeah, that's what threw me. Because I only know the Diamondback, who was in love with who Captain America went out with.
Yeah, that's who I
And
assumed.
yeah,
Gee.
and she was definitely part of the Serpent Society before.
Rustin.
Rustin?
I know you're listening. Please correct me and poor Ray because
Yes.
I'm so behind.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to play catch up real hard before Gang War.
Look, there might be a new iteration of Diamondback. Okay, this is my theory. This is my tinfoil hat theory. Okay, Diamondback, there's probably a male version now in the Serpent Society because we know the female Diamondback, I think, is now a hero.
Okay.
And Green Mamba sounds like a snake. I'm assuming it's
Well, it
part
is a
of the Serpent
snake.
Society.
It's
So
very Kill Bill.
yes.
What?
So I'm
Wait! Stop!
yes.
Sorry.
Yes.
What if this is just basically Kill Bill? This whole arc.
Could be. I haven't seen Kill Bill in ages. But yeah, I'd run with that.
I mean, we've got the snake themed baddies, right?
Mm-hmm.
We got him. We've already talked about this, so you know what? We're going. Well, you know what? We find out.
Yeah.
In issue 31 of The Amazing Spider-Man. Let's just go right into it now.
Okay, yeah, let's do that as well.
Let's just go into it. And then we have to talk about the Mark Brooks Spider-Woman cover. Yes. After this. So in The Amazing Spider-Man 31, there's this little short story with Jess. This is set up for my brain. Yeah, for Gang War. That's it. And Jess hunts down Taskmaster, needs to get some fucking names because she's pissed as shit. He gives her the names she needs. And then it breaks to Carol is looking for where the hell Jess is. She's asked Jessica Jones. She's asked Peter. She's asked even Julia. And all Julia can say is, all I can see is that Jessica is darkness. And then Jessica busts on a drug deal and beats the shit out of this guy. And we find out that Jerry Drew is missing. Which is also kind of part of what happens in Kill Bill. So,
okay,
we have
right.
a missing kid, right?
Yeah.
So, that's why I have this theory. But there was also recently a article from CBR that actually was very interesting because they made a thing. They're like, so we know that Jess went missing and then she came back. Like she was completely gone from existence, right? And then she came back. So CBR actually makes some good points. When Jess, disappeared from existence, did that wipe Jerry off the map?
Ah.
And when she came back, did Jerry not come back?
Okay.
and she can't figure it out because now she's pulled into this gang war crossover, right?
Yes.
So I think that's very, very interesting to point out. But I have a feeling that that's not the case because
It's yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like, logically, potentially, that could be what happened, but my impression was that after, the events of Spider-Verse and stuff, like, everything was restored back to normal, so
yeah,
I'm not sure whether technically when Jess was wiped out of existence, that would wipe out Jerry as well. I
right.
don't know, but yeah.
So my question too is how much of Carla's Spider-Woman run is Steve going to honor? Because if
Mhm,
Jerry would have been left with Lindsay, so somehow someone got Jerry away from Lindsay.
mhm.
So
Yeah,
and we can all assume it was probably Hydra going by this comic.
mhm.
I
I'd
don't know.
say I'd say Lindsay took Jerry back to Madripoor, deal with those Irish ninjas, and then something happened. I don't know. Yeah, it'll be very interesting to see. Also, as well, just for listeners, Sarah, I just want to put a little bit of context for those that want to jump into gang war, and that for those who may not be necessarily reading Amazing Spider-Man. So, issue 31, which is what we're talking about, it really is the setup for gang war. So basically, Tombstone's daughter, who is a Beetle, she's going to get married to Randy Robertson, who is the son of Joe or Robbie Robertson. And for those that know, he's a roommate to Peter Parker as well. So, anyway, there's a big wedding between those two. And behind that tombstone, there's a little tension between he and the other gang members. He basically tells them, come along to my daughter's wedding. Um, otherwise, it will look kind of bad for us. And he's basically saying, you have to come along. So anyway, so they come along to the wedding, but during the wedding, we don't know whether it's any of the gang members or not, but someone um, ruins it. What's his name? I can't remember. Shotgun. I think his name's Shotgun. He comes in, he disrupts a wedding, tries to kill the bride, ends up shooting Tombstone. And although Tombstone's got unbreakable skin, manages to shoot him, I don't know, with a special gun. So Tombstone is gravely injured, taken to hospital, but I'm assuming that is the start of the gang war. Tombstone is going to get ultra mad and he's going to take it out on the opposing gangs. So yeah, that's what is happening. And so to the side of that, yeah, Jess is looking for Jerry, but it'll be interesting to see how she gets pulled into the greater scheme of this war that's going to happen.
Yeah, and
Mm,
very intriguing.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, I'm so single focused. I'm like, I don't give a shit about
Oh
other
yeah.
comics but Carol and Jess. So it's like I didn't even read the rest of the issue. I literally beelined to the Jessica part. I didn't
That's
even read
good.
the
I
rest
mean,
of it.
yeah, that you are an Uber fan. That's fantastic. But yeah, I mean, for those that just don't want to jump in and be a little bit, I mean, I'm sure they'll bring everyone up to speed with Gang War, and Jess's miniseries will be self-contained. Let's hope, just like King in
Yeah,
Black, it was kind of to the side, but it had its own thing going.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So what was your feelings on Jerry being missing? Because
yeah.
I personally felt it was a bit cliched.
Mm.
I wasn't surprised, but I'm like, of course, of course.
Yeah, I similar in the fact that I guess Carla did such a great job in protecting Jerry during her run with Pere. And so it
Hmm.
was only a matter of time before, okay, I thought maybe, and look, taking nothing away from Steve Fox as well, dipping into it. He's claimed Steve is a lifelong Jessica Drew fan as well. There's an article, Sarah, and I can't remember where I read it, but it was an interview with Steve Fox, and he is a massive fan. So, um, you know, it's there to be picked, so to speak, that story. Like, they haven't done one with Jerry like that. So yeah, to have it all kind of surrounding that will be interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Just also because like Jess came back from the dead, and comic book characters they never die, or there's never really any harm. I'm kind of I don't know, quietly confident that nothing will happen to Jerry. But let's see what happens. you know.
Yeah. Although
So yeah.
I am pleased to see Carol's in it. So it seems to be
Mm,
part. So there's that.
yeah. And I can't wait to see more of a dark Jess, you know?
I
Like a
mean, Jess, I think inherently is a dark character.
Yeah, but I mean as in, Carla did again, she did a great job with Jessica Drew, but she did inject, some, some comedy, some humor in it, which was fantastic. I'm not sure if we'll get a totally dark. I'm not, like, talking
I think
dark Daredevil.
Jess has this. See, the thing with Jess is like she can be really dark,
Mm,
but she's also really fucking funny. I
mm,
think Kelly Sue DeConnick said something about it. Kelly Sue said something about it once before that. Jess is very dark, but she's funny.
mm.
So even when Jess is going really, really dark, like she could probably go Daredevil dark,
Yeah.
but she's fucking funny.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just who she is. I mean, I'm expecting some. I'd expect some levity, unless he wants. I
Mm,
mean, even Bendis's Agent of Sword, like I mean, that's Jess at her lowest that we've seen so
mm.
far, right?
Yep. That was
Um,
good. Well,
and it
you know,
was she
she
was still funny though. That she still had moments just of her internal monologue. There were moments during that I
Yeah.
had to laugh, and I have a feeling now that we're talking about this, and I'm thinking, okay, well, in Agent of Sword, right? Jess is coming
Mm,
back from Secret Invasion, having
yeah.
been removed from the world. This is very similar to that, but probably a shorter period of time.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think this is probably not only is her kid missing, she's coming back from not existing at all. So that's punching her in the trauma right
Yeah.
there.
Nice parallel. I like that.
Um so I think I could possibly see Steve Fox kind of paralleling that
Mhm, mhm.
and maybe yeah, like this is like got to be deja vu for Jess in some ways, except now she's also got a kid in the mix. But
Yeah.
also she wasn't forgotten, and also with that Spider-Verse crossover, like they got her back and they actively like tried to get her back as far as I know. I didn't read it.
Yeah.
At least Peter tried to get her back.
Yes.
And to me, I mean, at least that wasn't like someone was me while I was posing as me while I
No,
was
that's different.
gone, and
Yep.
nobody recognized I was gone. At least with coming back from this one, people knew she was gone
Yes.
and tried to
Yeah.
get her back.
True. Yeah, true. I mean, I guess tracking back to this kind of dark element, I guess I mean more so like the environment, not just Jess, but like,
Oh yeah,
essentially Carla's run, you got characters who do, quip and are quite witty and they do poke fun at themselves. I'm wondering if Stephen Fox does take a darker, just having humor, but maybe the tone of the book might be darker. I don't know. We'll have to see.
and, we'll
Yeah.
see. I think it will be. Like I don't
Mm,
get me wrong. I think it will be, but I
yeah.
still think if you devoid Jess of any sense of humor at all,
Oh no, not of course. Yeah, of
like
course.
I mean I don't. When you look at all of Jessica's comics, I feel like as much as I love the Dennis Hallam run,
Hmm.
it is so much still lighter, but still
Yeah,
very emotional than all the other ones. Like it's excellent, but like Jess
yeah.
has always been a little on the darker side.
Yeah, no, for sure. I guess what you mentioned with the Bendis run is a perfect example. Like that whole tone of that series was kind of gloomy,
Hmm.
albeit just still having some humor in it. So I'm kind of likening it to that. It's hard to compare it. It's unfair to compare it because
Yeah,
different artists, different writers. But yeah, that kind of tone. I just wonder. So we'll have to
yeah.
wait and see.
We'll have to wait and see. I expect it to be dark. I mean, her kid's missing,
Yeah,
but what we
yeah.
really want is for it to be ordered enough that we get a whole series out of it. And if it
Oh
can,
yeah,
Carla went 21 issues, and let's hope that this one goes longer. So,
yeah.
Spider Babies, you know what to do.
Yes, exactly. Um, yeah, you did mention as well, Saren, unless there is anything else from issue
No.
31? No. Um, mentioning up here on screen a
Oh
beautiful
man.
cover by Mark Brooks. Saren, you mentioned it's probably snapped up by someone already, right?
Yeah, I'm sure he sold it, or if he hasn't
Mm,
sold it yet, I don't know. Has he said anything about it? Let me go to the
um,
tweeter. Let me go
yeah,
to the tweeter and see if the tweeter if he has done anything with that. Let me
yeah.
go to
But for
tweeter.
those that can see the video, it's a fantastic front cover, And what really amazes me as well, Saren, is that you can see on the right-hand side Mark's fingers and the medium, like the pencil he
Yeah, it's a
used.
sketch. Yeah, it's a sketch cover. It's just
And it's kind of like, is that what he drew that with those, like with a pencil? It's
yeah,
a
he's
colored pencil.
amazing.
It's crazy.
He's an
Yeah.
amazing artist. He will be at NYCC. I think. Hold on, now I'm double checking. I'm pretty sure he's going to be there. I'm checking my app. NYCC Mark Brooks. Mark. Yeah, he will be. He's at table I01. So he'll be like right at the top. He also did a Spider-Gwen cover. Honestly, the Spider-Woman one is, I prefer that. It's beautiful. Like, oh my god, I love him. He hasn't said anything about selling it.
Okay.
Although if he hasn't sold it yet, I could see maybe, I don't know. Sometimes there's like a charity auction at NYCC and artists will like donate a piece of art. So,
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't know if that's, I'm not speaking. I'm just, I'm sure it's, probably sold already. And if it's not sold already, it might be for sale at NYCC. I don't know. But oh my god, it's beautiful.
Yeah, it is really good.
Yeah, and she's wearing this jacket, and I don't know. In my head, that's Carol's jacket, but
it's a nice
whatever.
jacket. Yeah, and just a nice pose. Like her hair
She
looks
just-
like amazing.
She looks fucking badass. Like she's gonna like 2 steps away from punching you in the face, and it's great.
Yeah, and Mark Brooks, he did that background as well.
Yeah, I think he.
That's crazy.
It's a sketch cover. He's an amazing artist.
That's a
Like,
sketch
I think-
to me. That is like a finished product.
I think
That's crazy.
I think his like the last time I saw him open commissions up was like years ago, and like his commissions are no joke. They're expensive but worth it.
Of course. Yes. Yeah.
So I would love to see Ben Harvey take a crack at Jess. I actually do have a Ben Harvey commission of Jess from like 6 years ago.
Okay.
Now he's a Marvel. He does covers for Marvel now. And
Ben Harvey. Okay.
Ben Harvey, and I do have a Spider-Woman by him that he did for me on the fly. And
nice. How long did it take him? Like,
I was at Wizard World in Philadelphia when he did that, and he had it done by the end of the day, I think.
Oh wow! Okay. Wow.
Yeah, it was just I walked up and asked for a commission, and he gave me like a head, or like a headshot of Jess, and in black and white, and it's beautiful, and I love it, and it's framed and it hangs on my wall.
That's awesome.
But his covers are pretty damn good. But I would love him to do a Spider-Woman cover, because if he did, I would buy it so fast.
Yeah. I hope I don't know, someone digitizes, I don't know, this Mark Brooks one. I don't want to at least.
Yeah, right. I could actually see Marvel doing that.
Yeah. You have to.
The other thing I wanted to talk about, going back to episodes 31, because that's where our feedback is for in regards to.
Yep.
We are on Blue Sky, folks. We are Spider-Woman Pod on Blue Sky. And our friend Jess, Spider-Woman OFCL on Blue Sky, said she loved the gritty feel and then not mad he went for Jerry. I want to see how Jess rages through the city to get her son back. And yes, it will be very fun, despite the fact that I thought it was a little cliche. Sorry, Steve Fox, I did.
Yeah, that's all right. Yeah.
And I'm still looking forward to reading it, though, because I know it's going to be good. And then our friend Carlos, also over on Blue Sky, said, very excited for the new series. We all are, guys.
Yes, we all are. Thank you. Yeah, can't wait. It's can't come quick enough, November. So we'll just have to kind of wait until then, get the solicits. Speaking also of which, Seren, I just want to shout out to Jess as well, one of our spider babies who left that thought. She did also put in a little thing on our Discord about the Marvel Multiverse role-playing game. Now there's a scenario, I'm assuming, enter Hydra, and the weird thing, Saren, is that it included the characters. You can pick any of the characters, and we recommend the following profiles: Captain America, Black Widow, Jessica Jones, Spider-Man, Spider-Woman, and Logan. Where's Jessica Drew? Does Jessica Jones have any affiliation with Hydra?
Not that I know of.
Yeah, me too. Me neither. Unless this is a typo. I'm assuming
This
this is a typo. They mean Jessica
No, I
Drew.
don't think it is. I think I need to find that Twitter
Yeah.
link, and I just need to be like, why are you not having Jessica Drew in this game?
Yeah,
And
exactly.
2, this is like what this is right on par with me being mad during like what it's Hydra. Why are you leaving Jess out of the RPG game?
Exactly.
They are going to be showcasing the RPG game. Was that Friday or Saturday? Hold on,
Okay.
looking at my schedule. They're going to be showing the RPG game at New York Comic Con, and I was going to watch.
Okay.
And here's the thing, guys. Oh, it's right after the Gang War panel. Hey, look at that. So yeah, I really am going to try and stick around for that. But if you're doing Hydra, why do you leave Jess and Bucky's not in it too? Because the
Bucky
two
as
people
well, yeah.
you would think when you have a Hydra anything, the two people you want on your team or would make the most sense to have would be Jess and Bucky.
Yeah.
And probably even Natasha.
Yeah.
And she's already listed.
She's already on there.
She makes sense. Bucky makes more sense.
Miles Morales?
Yeah, no. No.
Peter Parker? I can understand
No.
Wolverine to an extent. He's got his toe in everything, but those three, Jessica Jones, Peter Parker, Miles Morales, I do not understand at all. Anyway.
No, I don't either. I don't know. If you're gonna do an RPG game and you really want to get into it, you bring in Jess and Bucky, Widow, and probably even Captain America, obviously, and maybe even Hawkeye.
Yeah, Falcon. You know, just that kind of realm. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but this is also where I get mad because this has happened to Jess before, but it was in the comics when they did the resurrection of Wolverine and they bought all like of Wolverine's best friends and they used Jessica Jones instead of Jessica Drew. And like, if you're going to Madripoor and you have Wolverine, why are you bringing Jessica Jones instead of Jessica Drew? And I kind of got a little mad at Charles Soule about it. And I said, you know, I like pointed to Chris Claremont's Wolverine and I was like, Charles Soule, why are you not using Jessica Drew? She's one of his very good friends.
Yeah.
And it could be that maybe Marvel didn't let him use it, but that's not what he said. He was just like, no, I used Jones. And I was like,
okay. I wonder, Seren, if there is an edict because you look at the precedents, you look at the inception of Jessica Jones and how she's related to Jessica Drew in that capacity.
She is Jessica Drew.
Yeah.
With the Hydra filed off and the Venom Blast and the Spider Powers filed off.
Yeah, exactly. So every time we see Jessica, you've just cited an example and this other example, the role playing. Every time Jessica Drew seemingly is meant to be part of it, Marvel tend to use Jessica Jones. I don't know. And nothing against Jessica Jones as well. I think she's a great character. But I just wonder if it's to the detriment of Jessica Drew that it seems to happen again and again. Like
it is because also Jessica Jones had a TV show and Daredevil's TV series is coming. So you know we're probably going to get Jones too eventually.
Yeah.
So
why can't you just have both of them? Sure, they have the same first name, but it doesn't mean one excludes the other.
Well, here's the problem that really gets me mad because now the comics Jessica Jones. Before, you could visually tell the difference between the two of them. Jessica Jones had brown hair, was a little bit heavier than Jessica Drew. Now, Jessica Jones in the comics is drawn to look like Kristen Ritter. And because of that, they look even more alike now.
Even more
and it also is a problem is because they're both PIs and they both have kids. And the thing is, Jessica had all these things before Jones did. I mean, granted, Jerry Drew came in a different universe first, but still.
Oh, okay, yeah.
He was still in another I mean, he still existed before Danny Cage did. So, you know, I mean, it's just, there's so much. It just,
Anyway, I'd really, again, full credit to Jessica Jones as well. You know, I loved reading her stuff. I think Kelly Thompson did some stuff with her, which was really cool.
Kelly Thompson's Jessica Jones book was very good.
Yeah. But please, Marvel, don't forget about Jessica Drew. I mean, of course, we're getting Gang War and enough noise. We're going to get an ongoing series, so we can't complain about that. But
No.
you know, these other small things, whether it be like Lego figures or role playing games or
Mm-hmm.
whatever, Jessica Drew still has to be represented. And having said that as
Hey,
well,
we
big
just
shout
got
out.
a recent. We got the recent action figure. We have two action
That's
figures
true.
actually.
That's
We've
true.
got
Yeah,
Spider
yeah,
Verse Jess, and we've got the David Johnson Carlo Run Jess in the black suit.
yeah,
So we
yeah,
got that too. So I mean,
yeah.
we are getting things, and we have the Masterworks Volume 3 coming, or is it Volume 4 now? I can't remember.
Oh, 4, I think.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
get your pre-orders in. Keep ordering it. Order all the
Yes.
things.
And we meant, Saren, we did mention, didn't we, a couple of episodes ago about the new Avengers Epic Collection is being released.
We did
That's
talk
a
about that. Yes.
Yeah. So don't forget that, Spider Babies, because I'm definitely going to be picking that up. You can
Yeah,
get
for
your
sure.
entire new Avengers run eventually. I mean, that's just the first volume, but you have it nice and collected, and you got your Jess within
Yeah.
those pages.
Yep.
So yeah. So Saren, I don't know if you want to dive into the comics now. I'm loving this discussion. Any more news, Saren, on NYCC from your end that you have maybe planned for yourself, or
Not related to Jess.
no? Okay,
I know. Yeah, we're cutting time short, aren't we?
no, that's all right.
So maybe are we gonna get? We'll go through this quick.
Yeah.
I've got Critical Role, which you all know. A Hailstorm is
Mm-hmm.
going to be there because apparently Hailstorm is one of my favorite rock bands, and they're going to be there signing copies of
Ah,
their graphic novel Hyde Manor. So I
oh,
gotta
okay,
hunt them
cool.
down at some point. My guys, I'm there all 4 days, and I'm not even sure how much time I'm gonna get in Artist Alley because
Mm-hmm.
it's just I just have shit scheduled like at some
Yeah.
point all day that's gonna require me waiting in line. So like I don't know. We'll see.
Mm-hmm. Mhm.
See.
Okay, cool. Just remind me, Critical Role. I might as well, might as well talk about as well. As you know, last episode as well, been loving Marvel Champions, which is great. I have since dipped my toe into the world of Marvel Legendary, and I'm loving that as well. It's an older game, I'm assuming. I think it is an older game.
Never
I
heard
think
of it.
they're coming up to 10 years. Oh yeah, it's a deck building game. So I heard about this from other gamers. Apparently, when deck building was the thing, it came out with a game called Dominion, and from there spawned all these deck building games. And Marvel Legendary came out, and it's still going now. Like they've got like 22, maybe 23 expansion sets. So it's going great guns. Anyway, I've been reintroduced or introduced into that, and I'm loving it. I do already have the Spider Woman aspect to it. So in one of the expansions, Paint the Town Red, you can get fortuitously, Sarah, and you can get the Spider Woman and you get Moon Knight as well.
Oh, very
So
good.
yeah. So I've got that expansion, and yeah. Can't wait to. I haven't played Spider Woman yet, but it's a little less like Champions in that you aren't exactly the superhero. Like the superheroes help you
Oh,
um
interesting.
do what you need to do. So yeah, Jessica Drew, she's got her own little set of cards. And from that, yeah, you can take on whatever villain that you want. So a very cool game, highly recommended as well. Maybe Saren, if I can get a camera set up, I'd love to do like a playthrough as well with Spider Woman. Maybe as a bonus episode or something, because obviously it's just
Yeah.
yeah. But anyway, just wanted to give that my two cents with that, and Spider Woman in another format as well.
Yes. Very cool.
Mhm.
That would be interesting. I'm intrigued by that.
Yeah,
Um, do we want to get into classic issue
yeah.
number 5?
Let's do it. I shall throw that on to the screen. Yeah. And so, yeah, as mentioned, we're covering Spider Woman Volume 1, Issue 5. It's called Nightmare. Pretty cool cover there. Pretty misleading cover, but
Mm-hmm.
it's still good as it is. Uh, Release date May 2, 1978. Cover date August 1978. And Sarah, have you got the credits there?
Yeah. Writer is Marv Wolfman. Penciler is Carmine Infantino with Tony D. Zangaya as our inker, Michelle Wolfman as our colorist.
Mm.
Letter is Joe Costanza, and Marv Wolfman edited it.
Yes, and available, of course, in floppy format. You can pick it up. I think this is an issue I am missing, Seren, I'm not sure about you.
Can't recall. Dude, I gotta go through so many comics.
Yeah.
I got a Peach Momoko. Oh, that's the other thing. I got a Peach Momoko autograph coming.
Oh, lovely.
So I have to go through comics and figure out. I can have like she's like signing like 5 for free or something like that. So
Oh,
gotta
lovely,
have shit
lovely.
signed.
Yes. So I mean, you can look at your back issue bins for that. Issue 5, also Marvel Unlimited. It's on there. It's also on the Marvel app. You can purchase it. It's collected.
Well, the Marvel app it would be Kindle now, right?
Well,
Because
yeah. It's yeah, exactly. Oh, and no, actually, and Kindle, the Marvel app is actually through Marvel Unlimited as well. Apparently, I
Oh,
think
is it?
you can import your. I haven't checked. Yeah, you can. Yeah, I have. I have checked it, so I'm talking to myself. You can import your library that you used to have on Comixology into the
Huh.
Marvel Unlimited app,
How
and
do
you
you
can
do that?
access it there. Yeah,
I'll have to figure out how to do that.
So, because I think I've seen. I could be. I don't know, Ray's brain is all over the place. I'm pretty sure that's the case. Anyway, it's also collected in trade paperback and in Masterworks form. This issue, so you can go check it out there. As always, we will go through a synopsis. This time again through Wiki. And then Seren and I will just go through our thoughts on this. We'll jump around. I'm going to jump around visually on the video just with pages that we find interesting. And yeah, we'll cap it off with a score. What do you reckon, Seren?
All right, let's do it.
Righty.
I will read the first 2 paragraphs.
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Wiki. We appreciate you.
Thank you, Wiki.
Spider-Woman has been taken to safety, quote unquote, by the Hangman, who ties her to a chair and gags her in the dungeon of an old abandoned home he has taken up residence in. He tells her that he has brought her here to keep her safe from a society that craves violence and lawlessness made popular in movies. Have we heard that before? When he then leaves Jessica alone, she easily frees herself and begins trying to find a way out of the Hangman's home. Spider-Woman is startled when a mirror shows a reflection of a skeletal version of herself in costume. This is the first of many hauntings which Spider-Woman experiences in this house. She is soon caught in a spider web and is stalked by the evil spirit, taking the form of Jerry that transforms into a spider. Meanwhile, at the boarding house that Jessica shares with Magnus, Magnus has a conversation with Priscilla Dali about her late husband and what he did for a living.
Back at the haunted house, Jessica manages to escape from the Jerry Hunt apparition, only to be haunted by apparitions of her father and Magnus. Although she escapes one, the other manages to pin her to the ground until she blacks out. When she revives, she finds herself in a strange dungeon. Travelling through it, she is attacked by animated suits of armour. Fighting off these suits, she soon finds the room flooded with water, but manages to break free. In yet another room of the house, she sees what appears to be Magnus tied up in a chair. Confirming that it is the real Magnus, Jessica tries to revive him. Suddenly, she is visited by the apparition of Morgan Le Fay, who appears with her Doomslayer warriors to have her revenge against them. Yeah. So, interesting. There are a few things to talk about here, Seren, of course. But overall, what did you make of this issue?
It was a bit of a mindfuck.
Yeah.
I had a little bit of a hard time following it. I mean, it was all like Jessica's weaknesses about herself, and she like powered through it all. But a lot of it, I was like, we just saw him with Professor Dolly or Mistress or whatever her name is, the crazy lady. And then, I apologize, the lady who likes to collect dolls and is not creepy at all. And then he is here tied up, and there's this gap, and I'm going, WTF, if this is really him or not. I don't know. It was like Jessica was having an existential crisis the whole issue, which I mean Morgan Le Fay is doing. This is the first appearance of Morgan Le Fay, which is very cool.
Wasn't she in issue 2? Was she in issue 2?
Yeah, maybe. Oh yeah, was she? Oh yeah. Never mind. Second appearance then maybe. And Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it was cool. I think I need to reread it.
Yeah.
I had to chuckle at the start at the Hangman's whole
Oh
monologue
my
here.
gosh.
He's like,
Yeah.
"I'm saving you," and
Yeah.
from being tortured and hurt. He says as he ties her up in a chair in some really weird damsel in distress way.
Yeah. Yeah.
It, just oh my goodness. I don't know. I don't really have a score to give it because jury's still out. I don't know how I feel about
Okay.
this issue.
Okay. No, that's fair enough. I really enjoyed the issue. I mean, there are a few little bumps along the way. We can. I mean, I love the aspect of the haunted house, and again, that kind of horror element of not knowing what's going on. Hangman at the beginning was my gosh, but maybe I've headcanoned it now because his character is so like he's so annoyingly like dislikable. Uh, but as I was reading more and more of it, and him going through his monologue, I'm thinking, Wolfman, I mean, this is almost a testament to the strength of Spider Woman. I'm thinking the writer is introducing this really over the top villain, like he's misogynistic, he's just terrible as a person, and he's called out as a psychopath, rightly so, about wanting to save all these women who need saving. But just thinking about it more, I'm assuming that Wolfman is doing this to really just play up like how like a bad character he is, but also at the same time, it's kind of like he's like a counter to Jess because Jess doesn't take a bar of this at all. She easily
Right.
snaps the bonds and stuff, and it's like, "Who is this? Who is this dickhead?" You know? So
Right.
I th that's my headcanon, thinking that Wolfman's decided, "Okay, I'm gonna make this absolutely awful, terrible character who we know is incorrect in every way, but it's intentionally done so that way." So we have Jess going up against him. The only other thing that was a little bit of a sidebar for me and really weird was this transition. Like, I've got questions, Saren. Like,
Yeah, I have
is this ha
questions too.
yeah, is this Hangman's house? And if it is, what is his connection with Morgan Le Fay? Because we
The
know that
only
Morgan.
thing I
Yeah.
can think of is if he's not connected to her, then maybe
Mm.
she put some like witchy stuff on him to bring Jess there.
Yeah, that actually makes sense. And as you were starting to say it, I was kind of realizing, yeah, maybe that's it. Maybe he is a minion of Morgan Le Fay, which does tie it in together. Because I just found it so disjointed. We got introduced to him in the prior issue, and he just seemed like a vigilante. Then all of a sudden, he brings her to his house, and then all of a sudden, Morgan Le Fay's there. But you're right, unless he's got and listeners, to be honest, I've forgotten. Like I have read all 50 issues of Spider Woman, Volume 1, like yourself, Saren,
Oh, I
but it's
haven't
so
read them
long.
all. I
Oh, you
haven't
haven't?
read them
Okay.
all. No,
Oh, okay. But yeah, it's been so long. So I'm at a loss again. I can't remember if he's part of her,
I can't
doings and
either.
such. Yeah. But yeah, that's a good theory, Saren. I think he has to be connected to her. Maybe he's like not even real. Like she's just like
No, I think he's
whimsied him up.
real.
Is he?
I
Okay.
think he's real. I just think maybe I think he's real.
No, I mean
I
as in Morgan Le Fay created him. Like,
no, well, maybe. I don't
mm,
necessarily well, he could have. No, I'm saying that maybe he is who he is, the Hangman,
mm.
and Morgan Le Fay saw
Oh, he's
him and
controlling him.
went, yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Ah, okay, okay. Yeah, yeah,
A little bit of mind control going on here.
that could be it as well. Because you're right, because he does go through his own back history, he's saying that, like, he likes the old Hollywood heroes like John Wayne and how he dislikes the new violent, um, actors like Clint Eastwood, he kinda calls
Right.
out as well. So, he does seem to, be a real person, but yeah, maybe he's been controlled by Morgan Le Fay. But having said that, I just love the weirdness of the house because you're reading it thinking that it's just about it's kind of like a scenario of prisoner or hostage, but it just
Mhm.
takes a turn and just goes through this weird experience.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, no, it's definitely like it's a mind trip. Like she is
yeah.
definitely her brain is getting messed with hard.
Mm,
But she knows she's getting messed with hard, which is good.
hmm.
So again, to attribute your to her strength of character, she knows when her
Mm,
brain is getting messed with in this case.
Yeah.
and he's able to fight back, and to the point where Morgan has to um reveal herself.
Yeah. I mean, also physically as well. So mentally, she's quite well equipped because she's had to deal with a lot. You know, she's dealt with.
Right.
She mentions Wonder Girl, which was cool, and
Yeah.
her past. We see it's all on a plate. Her past experiences, like with her dad,
Right.
with Magnus, but also just physically, I think she did really well. I love the touch of it was towards the end. Let me just where she pries the stone wall apart with the sword just to escape because she's drowning. So, you know,
That was pretty cool.
I just love that kind of aspect because it's like, how do you get out of this situation? Um, yeah, so she did very well there, and she's basically saying it's a stalemate. Towards the end, reveal yourself. She has to fight knights and all that. But I thought the art was really good here. I love the
Yo, no, the
weird.
art was really good. I love the art.
Yeah, like the monstrous Magnus was quite scary, and the haggard Jess at the beginning. But yeah, I think it was really well done. Another question here, though, Saren, tracking back
Hmm.
to again for those watching the video, we do kind of cut to Magnus and Miss Dolly. So who's that Magnus guy then? If he's
Right, that's where I'm at. I'm sitting there and I'm going,
yeah,
okay, this was Magnus, but then Jess is saying that this other guy tied up as Magnus. So what
mm,
happened in between?
imposter must be an imposter, right? And again, listeners who are more recently familiar with the story, you probably can answer that. But we get Magnus sitting at the home of Miss Dolly. We get a little bit of an insight to Miss Dolly and a bit more exposition, Saren, into the dolls. We'll get to
Yep.
that later on. But we know that
So
her past.
creepy.
It is. It's cool. Her past, her ex-husband, well, her widow. She's a widow, I'm assuming. Her
Yes.
husband traveled around the world to collect stuff, but he'd bring her back a doll. So yeah, we're getting a little bit of a tidbit there, but yeah, the fact that Magnus is there having tea with her, and at the end
Yeah.
he's tied up. That just
I
poses
don't
more questions.
get it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have more
Mm,
questions than answers currently right now.
mm. Yeah. Also, as well, I mean, I love the callback to Jonathan Drew. Just a lot of these. As you're saying, this is a mindfuck for
Yeah.
Spider Woman. So Morgan is really reaching into the dark recesses of her mind and pulling out everything that is really, I guess, traumatizing to her. Uh,
Yeah.
your thoughts, though, Saren, on the monstrous apparition of Magnus? Is this what Jess really thinks of him?
I don't think so. I think it's probably more what Morgan Le Fay thinks of him. She might be able
Ah,
to
okay,
read Jessica's memories and manipulate them to um to something that will make Jess question things, and Jess, instead
okay,
of running, fought it.
right, yeah. Because I'm wondering whether she has deep down like a mistrust to him. I don't know. Because
I
he
think
kind of
she
appeared out
might.
of nowhere, right?
Yeah, I
Yeah,
think she probably does. I think she probably
yeah.
does. I think we'll get more into that later. Maybe not right now, but I think she does a little bit later because no, I kind of remember what happens later with him.
Oh, you
She
do?
realizes, yeah,
Yeah.
it's the whole thing later in the much later in the series.
Mhm.
Um, so maybe not yet because he I can't do say anything about it without spoiling the end of the
Yeah,
series.
okay.
So I'm not gonna I'm
Okay.
not gonna say shit.
Yeah, yeah. But it is interesting. I mean, and again, then the parallels between Jessica mentions before she blacks out from this assault by the monstrous Magnus, because he says, "I've been hunting for you, Spider Woman, and now that I've found you, you're going to die." And she says she thinks, wait, those words, they're the very same ones from Jerry Hunt.
Yeah, well,
So
yeah, when
yeah,
we saw Jerry earlier, and that's when she realized there was a pattern
yep,
to what was happening.
yeah. But I mean, as storytelling goes, I love it. I love the just if we to dwell on the comic layout for a small moment, I just love how she blacks out and there's just that long strip. There's a long black
Yeah,
strip, and
that
then
was pretty cool.
yeah, and then the colors change because we have the captions always black on yellow, and then
Right.
it's just yellow and black, which is, I don't know, it's a nice touch visually.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, uh,
It, the
yeah,
this I love the art. I mean, the art. I love just Carmen Infantino's art. His art's
mm,
amazing. Um,
Yeah,
I have nothing bad to say about the artwork. I just was reading this and going, wait a minute, and
yeah,
this is definitely an issue I have to reread
yeah,
again, and maybe another time after that to really like let it sit and digest. It was almost a little bit. My brain has been so fried lately. It was almost a little bit too much of a mind fuck for me to really
yeah, yeah,
understand what I was reading and what the implications were. So I need
yeah.
to read it again.
Because I mean, I think around this time, this kind of first section of Spider Woman Volume Ones, we are going to tread some deep waters here, Saren. So, if not the internal, traumas, but the horror aspects of it. So, I felt this was really right at home with that kind of Mark Wolfman, and eventually we'll get into the Mark Grunwald run
Yeah.
of Spider Woman, and yeah, I just love the. There's a one bit where the furniture is flying towards Jess, and I just thought, how cool is that? Where we're in like a haunted house, like
Yeah.
Poltergeist. So I kind of like that, and how the house was her enemy, like the chandelier drops above her, but she's quite, walls disappear. Yeah, it's just a real madhouse. So
Yeah.
I kind of like that aspect. But as a reader, from reading at the beginning, it really takes a turn because you're expecting this hangman as a prisoner, got to escape the house kind of thing, and it just turned into supernatural. Yeah, a supernatural
Yeah.
bonanza. So yeah, again, I really appreciate that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, it's definitely like whew, Jess is weird, man.
Yeah,
Love it. But
yeah,
also it can be a little confusing for me. But yes.
yeah. Oh no, absolutely. Um, and yeah, just calling out the art again. I left that there when you were talking about the art, Sarah, on the page of Miss Dolly and Magnus, because that's classic art to me. Like if you look at it, it's
Yeah.
just her face, just the inking, really, really top stuff. So, yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know anything. Oh well, there's the last page for those that are
That
on the
the art
video.
on that page is amazing. That is a great page. I love everything about this page. It is
Mm.
beautiful.
They come like Morgan Le Fay and her Doomslayers are coming out of the hearth, the
Yeah.
fireplace, and they're larger than life. Jess is like small compared to them, and Magnus is
Yeah.
tied up. Yeah, it looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Looks really good. This page is very good. This is like that's just a really cool page. That was like, oh, this bitch again.
yeah, yeah.
And
And every time I see Morgan Le Fay, I want her to be the arch nemesis to Spider Woman. I just think that she's so cool.
I
Um,
see I like her and I like her ties to Jess, and I always do enjoy when Morgan fucks with Jess. But
mm,
to me, Madam Viper,
yeah, true.
Ophelia, she will always to me be Jess's arch nemesis. Like
Yeah,
she is the one who yeah, she's really the one. She's the one for me. Like if I were to pick one arch nemesis for Jess, it would be Viper.
yeah. I guess it goes a long way with the
Also
versatility of Jess.
Taskmaster, but you know. But yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. The thing about this original series is that it's all over the place and it
Mm,
effectively has Jess dip her toes in every part of the Marvel universe. Every
mm,
single part. She's been a PI, she's with Hydra, she's got the
yeah,
mystical magic shit for
yeah,
this. I mean, it's just I mean, she literally you could plop her into any storyline in the Marvel universe and it'll make sense for her to be there.
yeah. Well, I was thinking more of like in Color's run, Verunke. That
Yeah.
cosmic. She's
Yeah.
she's even got alien enemies as well.
Yeah.
So you can argue that she's
Which is
kind of
why I
like
was
the
mad Jess wasn't in the recent Secret Invasion arc again. I'm like, why did you not put her in there? She's always down to crush Skrulls. What are you talking about?
yeah,
Like, why is she not part of this event? And
yeah,
I was very upset
yeah,
she wasn't. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you people?
yeah.
But anyway,
Love it. Yeah. Yes. So really cool. I mean, so you're finding it difficult to score this one, Saren?
yes, I can't score this one. I have a no score, not because it's bad,
Yep.
but because I definitely have a jury that is still out on it.
Okay. I'm going to put you down for
I will give the
an
art.
A.
I will give the art a, a a 5 because I love the art.
Okay.
So I
Okay.
will
I'm
give
going to.
the art a 5, but the story
Okay.
itself I have to read again.
Okay, just for my records, I'm putting it in the prom sheet, but I'm just going to put you 5 art out of 5. I'm giving it the full 5. I don't know, the cons of it were far outweighed by the pros. I think the disjointedness of it, you probably
It was
explained it a lot.
intended, I'm sure, but
Yeah, but just a question of Hangman and Morgan Le Fay, but I think you've hit the money there, Saren. Maybe
yeah,
there's some affiliate, and that kind of goes a long way in explaining it. I just love the kookiness, just the randomness of it. But I always love deep dives into someone's psyche, and
yeah,
to revisit Jess's ones and what's really getting to her,
yeah.
because she
That's
makes
fair.
mention of Wonder Girl. Yeah, so I really enjoyed it, and the mystery of Magnus, and we get a little bit more of Miss Dolly because I love the Brothers Grimm, and I can't wait for that to be revealed. That's just really fun stuff for me. So yeah, I'd give it. People might say 5 out of 5s are meant to be for like classic all time issues or whatever. This is my subjective thing. I just enjoyed it. So
Good. That's good.
five out
I'm
of five.
glad you loved it. Like, that's
Yeah.
awesome. I am just, my brain needs to sit and reread it and really think about it.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at with it.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of thinking compared to last issue 4 that we did, and although that was fun, like this one was far more
Yeah.
satisfying.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we're definitely like gearing up towards some big shit again, I
Yeah.
think. So like you don't that's an entrance that yeah. So the next issue is gonna be a lot of fun, I think.
Yeah. Oh, and it says at the bottom here, we might as well get on here. Next issue, an incredible cosmic tour de force, and caught directly in the center of it all, and a semicolon, a werewolf by night. So awesome stuff.
Oh yeah. I love Werewolf by Night.
I love it. I love the relationship between Jess and Jack. I think they're
Yeah.
pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm excited for that one.
yeah. So yeah, there we go. Spider Babies. That was our take on issue 5, Nightmare. It certainly was in many ways.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Sorry.
No, I don't have anything else to add. I'm good.
Oh, good. Yeah. So we'll still discuss this, Saren. I guess taking it offline as to what we do next issue.
Yeah.
But keep your eyes and ears peeled, Spider Babies, of course. You can check us out on all the social media platforms. More recently as well, Blue Sky, which is great. Saren, you're on there. I'm on there as well. So I tracked down.
And the pod is on there. I need
The
to
pod is
get
on there.
active on there because it's a lot. Social media is a lot of work, guys. I apologize. I haven't.
Oh yeah, it's that's life is busy, but it's always a lot of fun to have a bit of respite and to chat Spider Woman, especially with you, Sarah. And it's always cool.
It's always a good time. Always a
we
good time.
Yes, and we would be remiss without saying a big thank you, of course, to our Spider Baby patrons, Miriam, Rustin, Eric, and Jess. Thank you so much for your support, and you too, listeners, can become a Spider Baby as well. Get some incentives, early access to shows, stuff like that. It's on patreon.com/SpiderWomanPod. That's easy enough. And basically, just remember that Spider-Woman Pod as a handle. And you can find us on Blue Sky, most notably on Twitter, Saren, Spider Woman Daily. Spider Woman Daily, without the A in woman.
Yep.
That's very important. Yes, as well as Facebook is Spider Woman Pod as well. So yeah, check us all out there. Yes, so Saren, a huge
Until
thank
next
you.
time.
Yes, and until next time, yes. To know her is to fear her.
Ta-da!
Yay!
If you'd like to contact us with your thoughts on Spider-Woman and her amazing series, you can drop us a line at spiderwomanpod@gmail.com. We are also on Facebook and Instagram. Just search for Spider-Woman Pod or To Know Her Is to Fear Her, a Spider-Woman podcast. Catch us on Twitter at Spider-Woman Daily or on Discord, Tumblr, and Podchaser. Look for all our links to our social platforms in the show notes.
We are also proud members of The Collective, a supergroup of podcasters dedicated to covering all the characters and news in comics and beyond. Search for #TheCollectiveNet on Twitter to to see the latest on all the shows, or click on the link provided in our episodes to give you a list of who's part of the collective. Finally, please consider giving us a rating on either Apple Podcasts or Podchaser. Whether it be to sing your praises or give us pointers on how to improve the show, any ratings will help cast our web further and potentially reach out to more spider babies out there.
Thank you so much for listening to our show. We really appreciate it. Stay tuned for our next upcoming episode. But until then, remember, to know her is to fear her.
Spider-Woman and affiliated characters, stories and events are properties of Marvel Characters Incorporated. Material used and discussed within the podcast are intended for critique and review purposes only, under the fair dealing concept of the current Copyright Act. The views, information or opinions expressed during the podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of the copyright owners.